Hi everyone, I'm here to present the app Bet, which was just released for web as of March 2024. You can access it via the URL bet-app.io. Bet is a productivity app which allows users to quantify their productivity and share their achievements with friends. To elaborate on what this means, I'll be going over concrete use cases and demo examples. At the heart of the app, there's three core entities: tasks, pods, and stamps. The fundamental entity of Bet is the task and contains several key features. To create a task, the user sets the task name and number of points for completion. The number of points is subjective and could be used to represent any characteristic the user feels is useful to track, such as difficulty, importance, priority, and more. When a user completes a task, their progress is updated real time. This progress is displayed in the form of a heat map visualization, which shows day-to-day productivity, as well as a line chart visualization, which shows daily, weekly, and monthly trends. A concrete demo is given in the following slide. Shown here is a user's personal page. On the left is their task list, which includes tasks defined by names and number of points, as well as add-ons such as text and image descriptions. On the right are visualizations displaying the user's progress over time. Upon completion of a task, the user can see their progress update in real time. The next core entity is the pod, which encapsulates the social media aspect of Bet. Pods are groups of users with a shared task list. They can be public, which any user can join, or private, which are invite only. In pods, users can view the progress of others by seeing who has completed each task. Users can also engage with others via task comments and reactions to encourage collaboration and foster a sense of community. Examples of pods could include various hobby groups, class group projects, families, and more. To paint a concrete picture, examples of pods are given on the following slides. This pod appears to be a group for hiking enthusiasts. On the left, we see the entry point for comments and reactions, and on the right, we can see pod users interacting under the shared task. Pods can also be used to organize groups of friends with a common goal, such as marathon training, which requires discipline and accountability. In this example, we see pod members coordinating training sessions for an upcoming race. They assign number of points according to length of each run, and they can see who all have completed each task. Listed here are more concrete examples. Imagine a scenario where gym partners are looking to start a New Year's resolution of going to the gym regularly. They create a private pod and tasks with a detailed description of the workouts for the next month. The first few weeks they stay motivated, but towards the end of the month they feel that going to the gym is becoming more of a chore. Despite this, they want to maintain their streak shown in the progress visualizations and eventually push themselves to keep going. Another scenario is two people in a relationship who want to keep each other accountable. They want to adopt healthy lifestyle habits such as waking up early, going to the gym, and eating healthy. They can create a private pod to track their goals and view their progress. One more scenario could be users looking to share their travel experiences. They can create a public pod and record highlights of their previous trips, as well as add to their bucket list based on other people's recommendations. In this pod, tasks could be anything from visiting famous historical sites to eating out at popular local restaurants. Similar to the pod, the stamp is another core entity in the social aspect of Bet. As the name suggests, stamps are collectible badges and they are earned by completing sets of tasks. A stamp can include tasks from one or more pods, and all tasks in the stamp must be completed for a user to collect the stamp. The collected stamps are then displayed on the user's public profile page for others to see. Shown here is just a sample of what stamps can be used for. As you can see, there's a variety of use cases, ranging from card collections to travel bucket lists, and many more. Just to elaborate on some more example use cases, a stamp could be created for visiting all US national parks. There's already a US National Park physical passport which can be stamped upon entrance to various national parks, but creating a virtual stamp on BET also allows users to share this collection with others. Similarly, you could create a stamp for traveling to different ski resorts. This stamp might take years to complete, but you can use it to document your most memorable trips with family and friends. Another example is finishing a book series, such as Harry Potter or The Hunger Games. By displaying the stamp on your profile, you can see others who have similar tastes as you. Now that we've discussed the core concepts of the app, let's look at the functionality from a user's perspective. After logging in, the user can see 4 main pages from the top navbar. They are Personal Page, Profile Page, Discover Page, and Account Settings page. Shown on this slide is the Personal Page, which includes the user's personal tasks, which are private to the user, as well as visualizations displaying their progress. This is the profile page of the user, which is public for others to see. Here, the user can create a bio description and share pods the user is in, as well as stamps the user has collected. The user can also pin individual tasks to their profile and share with others under the Pin Tasks tab. When another user visits this profile, they can send a follow request to the user, which shows up as a notification, accessible by the bell icon on the top right. Other examples of notifications are pod invites, in which a user invites a follower to join a pod, and pod moderator approvals, in which a member of a pod is upgraded to become a pod moderator. This is the Discover page, where a user can browse and find public pods and stamps. The user can search and filter for specific names and view other details of the pods and stamps. For pods, the user can see how many members there are, and for stamps, the user can see how many have already collected the stamp. Shown here is a user's account settings page, where they can update personal details including email, time zone, and profile image. Stepping away from the technical details, let's look at BET's high-level motives and how they contribute to the product market fit. One of the key factors that inspired the creation of this app was recognizing the increasing influence social media has on society. Examples such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit all have a large presence in our day-to-day lives, but one could argue that they are more centered on consumption rather than production. In other words, these social media networks encourage screen time by recommending content and grabbing attention. Everyone's heard of the term endless scrolling, where content is constantly spoon-fed to you. BET's idea is to leverage the addictive nature of social media to encourage productivity rather than consumption. Addictive doesn't have to have a negative connotation. In fact, there's plenty of positive aspects which make social media so appealing, including the feeling of community, relatability, and belonging. BET aims to capitalize on these qualities by providing a platform to help people reach their goals, whatever they might be. Another core factor is recognizing the increased popularity of the notion of a quantified self, in which people track their lives through data and patterns. Just to name some examples, there's the Oura Ring, which tracks sleep and heart rate, and the Apple Watch, which tracks various fitness markers, among many other products. BET allows users to quantify their productivity and gives users flexibility to track what they find most useful. And based on this data, they can adjust their goals accordingly. Another benefit is that data provides a gamified perspective to self-tracking. Users report that they are more motivated to maintain their progress when a streak is on the line and when they can see their stats increase in real time. Additionally, some users report that when they start off their day strong and productive, they are more likely to maintain that pace and momentum throughout the day. In essence, they feel that their hard work is rewarded when they can tangibly see their progress. Both the social media and gamified characteristics of the app aim to provide an emphasis on accountability. From many feedback responses, users report that they feel an increased incentive to complete tasks when others can view their progress, and increased motivation to join pods and collect stamps when their friends are also actively participating. Finally, let's take a look at some frequently asked questions and answers. One common question people have when they initially hear about the concept of a task and number of points is that, is it possible to cheat? And if so, can you have a system in place to prevent cheaters and ensure that whoever claims to have completed the task actually completed the task? So to answer that bluntly, cheating in this case only cheats yourself. Bet, at the end of the day, is a platform designed for users to track their progress and share their achievements. It's not meant to be competitive, but rather collaborative. And as for the second part of the question, a strict verification system would be overkill for the generic nature of the app. In other words, because tasks are intended to represent anything and everything, it'd be impossible to verify with certainty the completion status of a task. Another question similar in vein to the previous one is, what do points represent, and can you boost your score artificially by inflating the point counts? To answer this, it's important to note the differences between personal tasks and pod tasks. Personal tasks exist only on your personal page and is not shared with anyone else. Your personal progress for these tasks is only shown to you and not compared with anyone else. On the other hand, pods are groups with shared tasks, so all users in a pod can see the same tasks and point totals. Therefore, only within a specific pod and stamp can you make apples-to-apples comparisons, since these point totals are not at all related to the progress on your personal tasks. And as for the question of what do points represent, they can be for anything, including difficulty, importance, or priority. Most of the time, tasks have positive point values, but in certain cases, they could also have negative point values to deter unwanted actions. For example, caving into a bad habit, such as breaking a diet, could have a negative point value associated. As far as additional features go, one of our biggest priorities is launching for mobile. As most people know, in this current age, the overwhelming fraction of the user base for most social media platforms is mobile first. Especially for Bet, as an app intended for daily use, we recognize the need to reduce as much friction as possible for our users. Although web is universal and cross-platform, mobile has much better outreach and user retention, and caters much more to the social aspect since people are always on the go. And as the user base grows, there needs to be an increased emphasis on content moderation. On such generic platforms, the product is only as good as the user base and user-generated content, and there must be regulations in place to maintain the positive and collaborative community that our brand aims to achieve. More features include a dedicated For You page in which users can see personalized recommendations for pods and stamps. Another important feature is bulk importing tasks from CSV files, which is more of a quality of life feature but important nonetheless. Especially in social media, cross-platform integrations are necessary to grow a user base. And in this case, with so many to-do and productivity apps out there which already support export and import to CSVs, making this integration on our platform is definitely necessary for the long run. Lastly, the idea behind the name Bet was that we wanted something simple and iconic. Boiled down to a slogan, this became, bet on yourself and do more together. The first part refers to quantifying your progress, and the second part refers to sharing your progress and achievements with others. So that wraps up our introduction to Bet. If you want to learn more, please check out our About page here. And if you have any questions or comments, please check out our contact page. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Thank you everyone for listening, and we hope to see you on Bet soon if you're not already there.